Good morning, everybody. Theo Tutkaluk here with the Manitoba Sports Network. We see four great teams here battling it out this weekend, but certainly all for naught if it wasn't for the preparation of what goes on week in and week out before these tournaments. Pleasure to join us today, Darlene Sveinson with the Balmoral Hall Blazers. She is the head strength and conditioning coach for the Blazer girls team. Darlene, tell me how it is to get these ladies prepared for weekends like this, even though it's at home, but even the tournaments away from home.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, as a strength and conditioning coach, our job is to work with high-performance athletes, and the focus is to make them fitter, stronger, faster. But we also have this opportunity to work with these young athletes and give them some life skills as well. So the underlying message, too, is how does the body work? How do we listen inwardly to know what messages the body's giving you, and how to make sure that they understand that their body is the most important piece of equipment that they own.
Absolutely, and knowing that there's more of a scientific background now compared to 20 years ago when hockey players just had his head coach and assistant coach behind the bench. You know, I know full well, as having a strength conditioning license myself, certification I should say, the science and the technology you have available. What are some of the things, or what are some of the modalities that these ladies get to use with you so that they can focus and see how they're trending, either positively or negatively, with their training at home?
Well, of course, we have to train them specifically for the sport that they're involved in. So because our sport is hockey, all the training that we do has to mimic what is required of them in an on-ice situation. So speed, quickness, agility, the kind of endurance that they have to develop is based on quick starts and stops, short rest phases, hard go phases. So what's important, though, is that throughout the season that we balance the workload, because it can become completely imbalanced. Like a weekend like this where they're playing 6 games in a very short time frame, our job is to help them to know when the intensity phase is there and when is it important to rest and nourish the body. And so throughout the week and then throughout the season, we're constantly trying to juggle and balance those moments. So we might be in a really high intensity phase, and then we have to come back with, okay, let's balance and nurture. So in a weekly basis, a regular week kind of looks like a hard, intense workout on a Tuesday, followed up with a yoga practice on a Wednesday, and then a weight training session on a Thursday. Mondays are typically rest days, full out rest, do nothing, nurture. And then from a nutrition perspective, just helping them to understand that food is fuel, and that it is a responsibility to feed the body in a healthy, nourishing way, and that the idea that good nutrition, it's not going to make an average athlete elite, but poor nutrition can make an elite athlete average.
That's a great way to put it there, Darlene. And the thinking and the knowing of the resources and the technology behind making these athletes elite athletes is supreme, especially for a weekend like this. Like you mentioned, 6 games in less than 72 hours almost. Now, because Monday's going to be a rest day, I'm hoping, how are you going to get these ladies back into a form that they're well rested, they're able to attack the gym, they're able to attack their on-ice sessions at a normal to elite level again? What's the preparation for after a tournament like this?
Well, good and bad. I mean, these girls are accustomed to a fairly intense and rigorous schedule. There's that one rest day, and then it's go time again, preparation for the next upcoming tournament. And but we constantly are monitoring them, and that's where our job is to kind of test the water and see what the temperature of their energy level is, and plan workouts according to that. And most of the time we try to come at them with some workouts that match the intensity that's required of them in the game, so that they learn how to push themselves even when they're a little bit tired. And yet there's always a fine line between when is it helpful and healing and when is it hurtful and harming, and monitoring that so that we make sure that we don't put them in a situation where injury is right around the corner.
Absolutely. So listening to your body is probably key number one. And communication with your strength coach is probably key number 2, letting them know what's going on. Darlene, thank you for your time. Really appreciate the great work you've done with the Balmoral Hall team here and continuing on with the success this season. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Theo Tutkaluk with you with Darlene Sveinson, the head strength coach and conditioning coach for the Balmoral Hall Blazers. We've got third period action coming up right away. Stick around, the Manitoba Sports Network. Thank you for joining us this morning.